Good morning. Today we'll uh, discuss or solve the problems numericals on Unit 3. All of you are must be ready. All of you must be ready with notebook, pen, calculator, so that you can solve it at your end. Without solving, uh, it becomes difficult to understand and remember how to solve. Whenever you solve yourself, it will become uh, better practice to have the confidence in solving the numericals. Practice as well as the confidence built up is there. So, okay, this is the unit 3 problem. Let us first have first problem. The ruby laser contains a crystal length 4L. This is the length of the laser uh, fabric cavity. Refractive index N as 1.78. The emission wavelength, peak emission wavelength, central wavelength is 0.55 micrometer. Determine the number of longitudinal modes. What are the longitudinal modes and also the frequency of separation, delta F. So we have to measure Q and delta F. These are the given data. L is a 4 centimeter is given. L length of the fabric cavity is 4 centimeter given. So this is one mirror. This is fabric cavity. This is second mirror. So this is the mirror. This is also the mirror. And this is the distance L between the mirrors. On one side there is optical output. So this L is 4 centimeter. 4 centimeter is 0.04 meter. The N of this semiconductor material, that is refractive index, is 1.78, which is given again, and lambda is 0.55, which is given. So these are the three data given, and we have to find out what is the different uh, modes possible, maximum modes, number of modes, and what is the difference between two consecutive frequencies, that is the frequency separation, delta F is what. So let us check the formula for the Q. Actually, L is the formula we know as 2N. Uh, sorry, L is the formula for 2 upon 2N. So this is the formula for L, as we know. So if we take this uh, Q lambda upon 2NL, if you take this 2NL on other side, and if we keep the Q on one same side, Q lambda upon 2L. This, L Q of lambda upon 2L. So if you keep the Q on same side, and if you take these other terms, 2N on this side in the numerator and lambda on this side in the denominator, this formula is 2NL upon Q. So L we know, Q upon 2N into lambda. Okay. 2 upon 2n into lambda. So rearrangement gives Q equal to 2NL by lambda. If you substitute this, Q equal to 2 multiplied by N is given as 1.78. L is in meters 0.04 and lambda is in meters. 55 micrometers means 0.55 into 10 raised to minus 6 meters. So 0.55 into 10 raised to minus 6 meters. So after calculation by calculator, it comes out 2.6 into 10 raised to 5. These many number of modes are possible. These many number of modes are possible. So 2.6 into 10 raised to 5. These many frequency, discrete frequency are possible. So this number of frequencies 1, 2, 3 frequency, 4 frequency, 5 frequency, 6, 7, 8. So 2.6 into 10 raised to 5 different frequencies are possible in the optical range, infrared and ultraviolet range. So these many frequencies are supported by this particular uh, crystal structure, Rubik crystal structure. So this is the Rubik crystal structure. Okay. It contains the ruby laser contains the crystal length of 4 centimeter. So Q supported by this crystal is 2.6 10 raised to 5 numbers. So these many number of frequencies are there. Suppose this is 1 gigahertz, this may be 1.000, so 1 gigahertz, this may be 1.0002 gigahertz, and so on. And this continues in up to terahertz frequencies. Okay. So these many frequencies are supported. That is Q. These many modes means these many longitudinal discrete frequencies are supported. Now second asked is delta F. So delta F is directly having formula C upon 2NL. So this is the difference between two frequencies. If intensity versus frequency graph is there, light output versus frequency graph, and these are the different frequencies supported. Then the difference between two frequencies, suppose this and this frequency, this difference is the separation, that is delta F, and that is given as C upon 2N. This we have seen in the figure and we have discussed it in the theory lecture. So this is F is equal to C upon 2N. So again substitution, C we know 2.998 10 raised to minus 8. C we know C equal to 2.998 10 raised to 8 meters per second. So C is substituted 2.998 10 raised to 8 divided by 2 multiplied by 1.78 which is given, 0.04 which is also given in the data 0.04. So 2.998 10 raised to 8 divided by 2 into N into L, that is 2 into 1.78 into 0.04. So this gives the calculation value 2.1 10 raised to 9. So this is hertz. The frequency separation is hertz. So 2.1 into 10 raised to minus 9, we can replace this 10 raised to minus 9 by gigahertz. Giga. So 10 raised to 9 hertz becomes gigahertz. 2.1 into 10 raised to 9 hertz becomes 2.1 gigahertz. So answer is 2.1 10 raised to 9 hertz, or answer is also 2.1 gigahertz, or the answer may be 2100 10 raised to 6 hertz, and it is the 10 raised to 6 is megahertz. 2100 megahertz. This also answer is correct. So this is the unit 3 example 1. Then example, one more example we can check, that is the longitudinal modes of gallium arsenide injection laser emitting at wavelength 0.87 micrometer. So this is the wavelength lambda 0.87 micrometer, separated by frequency 278 gigahertz. So separation of the frequency is delta f, isn't it? So lambda is given, delta f is given. Determine the length L. L we have to find out. And the number of longitudinal modes emitted. Number of modes. Again, Q. The same problem is there. Very same numerical. Last time we have given the L and we have to calculate Q as well as delta F and lambda, and here delta F is given, lambda is given, and we have to this refractive index of gallium arsenide is given 3.6. N is given. So out of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we are given 3 and we have to calculate remaining 2. Last time also out of these 5, 3 we are given and we have calculated Q and delta F. So lambda given is 0.87 micrometer. So 0.87 micrometer lambda is equal to 0.87 into 10 raised to minus 6 meter. Delta F 278 gigahertz. Gigahertz we can replace as 10 raised to 9 hertz. So 278 10 raised to 9 hertz. Then N is equal to 3.6. This is for gallium arsenide material. So this is the data given. Now length formula we know directly. L is equal to C divided by 2 N delta F. So L formula we are having as L is equal to Q lambda upon 2N. L equal to 2 Q lambda upon 2N. This is one formula. And second formula, delta F is equal to C upon 2N. This one more formula is there. Okay. Delta F is equal to C upon 2N. Because we know delta F is equal to C upon 2N. This formula we are knowing. So we rearrange for L now because data given is delta F. So we can substitute delta F, C and N. We can find out L. So we rearrange for L. So L is kept on taken on this side, left side. It goes into numerator, and delta F when taken in other side goes into denominator. So delta F and L takes the respective exchange the respective locations. So L from denominator goes to this side numerator, delta F from this side goes to denominator on the other side. So L becomes equal to C upon 2N delta F from this formula. So again delta F is the separation between two frequencies. Okay? Delta F. Now C we know the velocity of light C is 2.8998 into 10 raised to 8 meters per second. The velocity of light in vacuum is C equal to 2.998 10 raised to 8 meters per second. Substitute into this formula L equal to C upon 2N delta F. This substitution will be L equal to 2.998 C, 2.998 10 raised to 8 divided by 2, N is 3.6, delta F is 278 into 10 raised to 9. Delta F given is 278 into 10 raised to 9 hertz. So that is substituted 278 into 10 raised to 9. So this calculation, after calculating it, you can take the help of calculator or you can use the log table also. 2.998 divided by 2 divided by 3.6 divided by 278. So this all calculated, multiplied with 10 raised to 8 and divided 10 raised to 9. Okay. So this comes as 0.4 0.149 10 raised to 3 meters. Is it coming? Have you calculated? 0.1498 into 10 raised to minus 3 is the answer of this. And this is a meter. Unit is meter. Or if you remove this, if you convert this into the coefficient or multiplication factor, 10 raised to minus 3, you can write as a milli. So it becomes 0.1497 millimeter. So 10 raised to minus 3 you can convert into milli, or millimeter we can convert into centimeter as 0.01497 centimeter. 0.01497 centimeter. So this is the L, that is 0.1497 10 raised to minus 3 meter, or 0.1497 millimeter, or 0.01497 centimeter. This is the L, that is the distance between the mirrors, reflecting media, okay, in the laser. So this laser, semiconductor laser structure is very small, because it is having the dimension zero point 0.1 or 0.15 millimeter. The number of longitudinal modes we can calculate delta F, sorry, Q. We can calculate number of longitudinal modes Q. We can calculate, because L formula again we can use for this, because we know L is equal to Q lambda upon 2L. So this formula we are knowing. So we have to calculate Q. We will take this 2N on this side, 2N into numerator goes into numerator and lambda goes into denominator. So 2NL, and the denominator will have this lambda divided by lambda. So substitution is there. Q equal to 2 multiplied by N is 3.6 multiplied by L. L just we have calculated 0.1497 10 raised to minus 3 meter. 0.1497 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter. So 2 into 3.6 into L, 0.1497 10 raised to minus 3 meters, divided by 0.87 into 10 raised to minus 6. That is the wavelength, 0.86 micrometer. Okay. This is the wavelength. 0.87 micrometer is 0.87 10 raised to minus 6 meter. So what we get, Q is 1.2389 10 raised to 3. 1.2389 into 10 raised to 3. These many possible modes can be established. These many modes can be established into the structure having the length L. These many different half waves of standing can generate the standing wave, can establish the standing wave. So 1.2389 into 10 raised to 3. These are the number of frequency that can be generated, that are possible to generate into that semiconductor crystal. So these are the number of frequencies, that is Q. So number of longitudinal modes, that is Q. And length of the cavity L, here, that is also calculated. Length of the cavity and number of modes Q can be are calculated. So length of the crystal is 0.149 10 raised to minus 3 meter, or 0.1497 millimeter, or 0.01497 centimeter. So all these answers are correct. Q is 1.9 into 10 raised to 3. 1.2389 into 10 raised to 3 number of modes are possible to establish, or these many discrete frequencies, these many number of discrete frequencies are possible to establish. So if you count number of frequencies, that this one frequency, this is second frequency, this is third frequency, this may be one few gigahertz, this may be another few gigahertz, this may be terahertz. If these frequencies, if you count, then those frequencies counted are having number of frequencies 1.2389 10 raised to 3. This is the count of the frequency, number of frequency. So count of the frequency is not having any unit. Okay. So suppose sometimes the MCQ there will be like this: 1.2389 into 10 raised to 3 is one answer. 1.2389 into 10 raised to 3 hertz is the second answer. And 1.2389 into 10 raised to 5 is the third answer. 1.2389 into 10 raised to 5 hertz is the fourth answer. Which one will correct? Choose. We will choose this first one because this is correct. This is correct because the value 1.2389 10 raised to 3 is correct, as well as unit. No unit is also correct. So if with value any unit is there, that answer is wrong. Okay. And this value as well as value is wrong. Here value and unit both are wrong. So what is the correct choice? Correct answer. The correct value 1.2389 10 raised to 3, and with correct unit. No unit is the correct unit here. No unit, because this is the number of frequency. Frequency counting is there. 1, 2, 3, 4 count. So let us go to third problem. The radiative and non-radiative recombination lifetimes. Radiative and non-radiative recombination lifetimes. Those are tau r, radiative lifetime of the charge carrier lifetime, and tau nr, non-radiative lifetime of the minority carriers in the active region of double heterojunction LED are 60 nanosecond and 100 nanosecond. So tau r is given 60 nanosecond, tau nr is given 100 nanosecond. So these are the data respectively. Determine the total carrier recombination lifetime. We have to find out the tau, or we have to find out, we can say tau t total. Both are same. We have to find out also internal quantum efficiency, and we have to find out optical power internally generated, P internal within the device. When the peak emission wavelength lambda is 0.87, lambda is 0.87 micrometer, means 0.87 10 raised to minus 6 meters or 870 nanometer. We have to take this into calculation, 0.87 10 raised to minus 6 meters, because we always take value in the meters. And The drive current is 40 milliampere. Current is 40 milliampere, that is 0.04 ampere. You take in calculation ampere, 0.04. What are data given? Lambda 0.87 micrometer. We take calculation point into calculation 0.87 10 raised to minus 6. Tau r is the radiative recombination 60 nanosecond, that is 60 into 10 raised to minus 9 second. Nano means 10 raised to minus 9 second. 100 nanosecond means tau nr 100 into 10 raised to minus 9 second. And I is 40 milliampere, I is 0.04 ampere. So these are the values that those we take into calculation. So these are the values which are possible to substitute and in the calculation. Now, what are asked to calculate? First is total carrier recombination lifetime, that is tau or tau t. Second is internal quantum efficiency, that is eta internal. And third is optical power internally generated, so that is P internal. So these are the three things we have to calculate. So what is data given? First we will calculate tau t or tau. So formula for tau calculation is 1 upon tau equals to 1 upon tau r plus 1 upon tau n. So this is the formula. Total time carrier lifetime is reciprocal of total carrier lifetime is equal to reciprocal of radiative lifetime plus reciprocal of non-radiative lifetime. This is the formula. So for 1 upon tau we substitute 1 upon tau r is 60 to 10 raised to minus 1 upon 60 to 10 raised to minus 9 plus 1 upon 1 divided by 100 into 10 raised to minus 9. So if 1 divided by 60 10 raised to minus 9 is there plus 1 divided by 100 10 raised to minus 9 is there, what we will do? 1 upon tau equals to, what we will do? We will multiply numerator and denominator of one term with the denominator of this term. That is 100 10 raised to minus 9. We will multiply it. 100 into 10 raised to minus 9. In the denominator also we will multiply 60 into 10 raised to minus 9 multiplied by 100 into 10 raised to minus 9. This is one term. Both numerator and denominator multiplied with same terms, this term. Plus, for second term, we multiply with denominator of first term. For first term, for this first term, we have multiplied with the denominator of second term, 100 into 10 raised to minus 9. So we have multiplied numerator 1, 100 into 10 raised to minus 9. We have multiplied denominator 60 into 10 raised to minus 9 with 100 into 10 raised to minus 9. Okay. This is first term. Now for second term, again, what we will do? We will multiply denominator of first term, both numerator and denominator. If you multiply same term to the numerator and denominator, value doesn't change. So we multiply 60 into 10 raised to minus 9 here in the numerator, 60 into 10 raised to minus 9 into 1 divided by this original 100 into 10 raised to minus 9 multiplied by 60 into 10 raised to minus 9. Okay. Now both these terms have denominator 60 into 10 raised to minus 9 multiplied by 100 into 10 raised to minus 9. Here also 60 into 10 raised to minus 9 multiplied by 100 into 10 raised to minus 9. So both these denominator values are same. So we can take the common denominator 60 into 10 raised to minus 9 into 100 into 10 raised to minus 9. So we can take this common denominator and then this addition of numerators can be possible. 100 into 10 raised to minus 9 plus, this is one term, plus second term 60 into 10 raised to minus 9. This is second term. This is addition in the numerator, addition. So in addition, we can take common 10 raised to minus 9 term. So what remains in the bracket? 100 plus 60, and we take common out of the bracket, multiply by 10 raised to minus 9. So this is the common term, divided by 60 into 100 is how much? 6000. 60 into 100 multiplied by this 10 raised to minus 9, multiplied by one more this 10 raised to minus 9. So there are two 10 raised to minus 9 multiplications are there in the denominator. So the multiplication of 10 raised to minus 9, 1 10 raised to minus 9, and denominator 1 10 raised to minus 9 will get cancelled. So before that we will add these brackets, 100 into 60, and sorry, 100 plus 60, it is 160 into 10 raised to minus 9 divided by 6000, as it is we'll write 10 raised to minus 9 and multiplied by one more 10 raised to minus 9. So denominator we have written as it is. Numerator we have sorted out these brackets. 160 plus 60, 100 plus 60 is 160. Multiplied by 10 raised to minus 9. So numerator 160 multiplied by 10 raised to minus 9. Denominator 6000 multiplied by 10 raised to minus 9 multiplied by 10 raised to minus 9. 1 10 raised to minus 9 get cancelled. So what remains? 160 divided by 6000 into 10 raised to minus 9. 1 10 raised to minus 9 will come as in the denominator. So what will be the answer? 160 divided by 6000 10 raised to minus 9 is this. So what is this calculation? 1 upon tau. So this is 1 upon tau. This is 1 upon tau. Okay, this is 1 upon tau. 1 upon, we can say capital T also, 1 upon tau. Okay. So tau is the total carrier recombination time. And that 1 upon tau is coming as this. Okay. 1 upon 60 divided by 160 divided by 6000 into 10 raised to minus 9. 160 divided by 6000 into 10 raised to minus 9. So this is the calculation. If you calculate it with the calculator, you will get 1 upon tau. But before that, we just find out what is tau. If 1 upon tau is 160 divided by 6000 to 9, then tau is how much? Tau will be, denominator comes into numerator, numerator goes into denominator. Tau will be 6000 into 10 raised to 9 divided by 60. So tau will be 6000 into 10 raised to minus 9 divided by 160. So this calculation, after calculating with the calculator, come as 37.5 into 10 raised to 9. So we found with the calculator this value by calculation. 6000 10 raised to minus 9 divided by 160 is 37.5 10 raised to minus 9 second. So lifetime is second. 37.5 10 raised to minus 9 second. Okay. 37.5 10 raised to minus 9 second. So this 10 raised to minus 9 can be written as nanosecond. 10 raised to minus 9 is nanosecond. So 37.5 nanosecond. Okay. So 37.5 10 raised to minus 9 is the answer. Second at 37.5 nanosecond. So this is one term we have calculated, that is the total recombination time. The second term we have to calculate eta internal, and also we have to calculate P internal. So by definition, what is eta internal? The internal quantum efficiency of the device using its equation, eta internal is tau upon tau r. Eta internal is given as r upon rt total radiative recombination. Okay. R upon RT, rate of radiative recombination divided by rate of total rate of recombination. So if you consider rate, that is frequency, that is radiative divided by total. But if you consider time, it becomes opposite, total divided by radiative. Okay. Please remember in this difference. So time equations are always reciprocal of frequency equations. So eta internal is ratio of radiative rate to the total rate of recombination, and therefore eta internal is also ratio of total lifetime of the carrier to the radiative carrier lifetime. So tau is known, we have calculated just now. Tau r is given, so eta internal can be calculated as 37.5 10 raised to 9, that is tau we have calculated, divided by tau r is given 60 10 raised to into 10 raised to minus 9. So 10 raised to minus 9, 10 raised to minus 9 cancels, and 37 by 5 divided by 37.5 divided by 60 is 0.625. So efficiency also has no unit. So eta internal is 0.625. Why it is not having any unit? Because efficiency is the ratio of same terms. Efficiency is ratio of second divided by second. Second cancels. Or efficiency is rate of the recombination divided by rate of the recombination. So the cancels. Units cancels. Same unit. So eta internal quantum efficiency is 0.625. Now what third is asked to calculate is power internally generated within the device. So from equation of P internal, power internal generated is P internal. So P internal we know eta internal H C I divided by Q lambda. H C I divided by Q lambda. Because P internal equations, what are the P internal equations? As we know, C is equal to F lambda. Okay. C by lambda is F. We can substitute C upon lambda is F. So P internal equations is eta internal H multiplied by H multiplied by F multiplied by I divided by Q. Okay. So this F is substituted in C upon lambda. The same equation is there, eta internal H. F is substituted as C upon lambda in the denominator. So eta internal H Ci upon Q lambda. This equation. So equation of eta internal is P internal is eta internal H into F into I divided by Q. This is one equation. And second equation P internal is equal to eta internal HCI upon Q lambda. Here we have eta internal calculated 0.625. H we know the Planck's constant 6.62 minus 34. And C we know the velocity of light in vacuum 2.998 10 raised to 8 meters per second. I given 40 milliampere, that is 0.04. Q number of modes are given Q is the charge on the electron, that is known 1.602 10 raised to minus 19, and lambda is given as 0.87 10 raised to minus 6. F is not known, lambda is given. The lambda formula for P internal. We know lambda given in the problem, lambda. So we use P internal formula. Out of these two formula, we use P internal formula for with the help with having the lambda in it. So P internal is eta internal HCI divided by Q into lambda. So we know H is Planck's constant. H is 6.626, 10 raised to minus 34 joule second. We know C 2.998, 10 raised to 8 meters per second. And also we know Q, charge on the electron, 1.602 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. So we substitute these three values and we have eta interval calculated as 0.6265 and I given as 0.04, lambda given as 0.87 into 10 raised to minus 6. If you substitute eta internal SCI upon Q lambda 0.625 into 6.626 10 raised to minus 34 into 2.998 into 10 raised to 8 into I is 0.04 divided by, so this is the divided by slash Q is 1.6 not 2 10 raised to minus 19 and lambda given is 0.87 10 raised to minus 6. If you calculate this number with calculator, we get 35.6 10 raised to minus 3 watt. Power internal is unit watt. So this is 35.6 10 raised to minus 3 watt. So this 10 raised to minus 3 we can write as milli. We can remove 10 raised to minus 3 and in place of 10 raised to minus 3 we can write milli. So 35.6 milliwatt. This is also correct answer. So LED which has internal quantum efficiency of 62.5%. So 0.625 we can write as 62.5% multiplied with 100%. Fraction, that is efficiency multiplied with 100% gives efficiency in percentage. So LED which has internal quantum efficiency of 62.5% generates internal optical power 35.6 milliwatt. This is the answer. So quantum efficiency asked and given the option 0.625, one option, second option 62.5, they both are correct. So third option will be both A and B are correct. So we have to select third option. Okay. So what is asked to calculate? What are asked to calculate? Optical power, this carrier total carrier recombination lifetime tau, the internal quantum efficiency, eta internal and power internally generated P internal. So total recombination lifetime is 37.5 nanosecond, okay, or 37.5 10 raised to minus 9 second. Then eta internal is 0.0625 or 62.5%. Okay, 62.5%. And P internal is 35.6 10 raised to minus 3 watt or 35.6 milliwatt. So these are the three answers we have calculated. So let us go to the next numerical. A double heterostructure indium gallium arsenide phosphate. This is the semiconductor alloy for LED operating at 13.10 nanometer. So this is the lambda 13.10 nanometer. Has radiative and non-radiative recombination times tau r and tau nr. Here tau r is given, tau nr. Tau r is 30, tau nr is 100 nanosecond respectively. The current injected is 40 milliampere. So I is 40 milliampere is 0.04 ampere. Calculate total recombination lifetime tau. Internal quantum efficiency eta internal and internal optical power. Again same problem numerical is there. The same data is given. Okay, same data is given. So 1310 nanometer is 1.31 10 raised to minus 6 meter, or 1310 into 10 raised to minus 9 means 1.31 10 raised to minus 6 meters. 30 nanosecond is 30 into 10 raised to minus 9 second. 100 nanosecond is 100 10 raised to minus 9 second. 40 milliampere is 0.04 ampere. Milliampere if you remove, it will give 10 raised to minus 3. If you multiply 10 raised to minus 3 with 40, you will get 0.04 ampere. So again same problem. So we will calculate 1 upon tau equal to 1 upon tau r plus 1 upon tau nr. 1 upon tau is equal to 1 upon 30 into 10 raised to minus 9 plus 1 upon 100 into 10 raised to minus 9. So same problem is there, tau 1 upon tau equal to 1 upon 30 into 10 raised to minus 9 plus 1 upon 100 into 10 raised to minus 9. So we will make the denominator same, multiply both these denominator with each other. 30 into 10 raised to minus 9 multiplied by 100 into 10 raised to minus 9. Now for this addition plus sign, this denominator is multiplied with this numerator 1 into 100, multiply 1 into 100, 100 into 10 raised to minus 9 plus this plus sign as it is. Multiply this denominator with this numerator. This 1 into 10, 30 into 10 raised to minus 9. This becomes 30 into 10 raised to minus 9. Now 100 into 10 raised to minus 9 plus 30 into 10 raised to minus 9 divided by 100 into 10 raised to minus 9 plus, इथं प्लस आहे, into 30 into 10 raised to minus 9 divided by 30 into 10 raised to minus 9 multiply by, here the product is there, multiply by 100 into 10 raised to minus 9. So in numerator there is a plus sign, so we can take common 10 raised to minus 9. So what remains in bracket? 100 plus 30. 100 plus 30 will taken common as 10 raised to minus 9. Denominator will be remaining same. 30 into 100 is 3000 into 10 raised to minus 9 into 10 raised to minus 9. Denominator will remain same. So what remains in the, what becomes the numerator? 100 plus 30 is 130 into 10 raised to minus 9 divided by denominator same 3000 10 raised to minus 9 into 10 raised to minus 9. 2 times 10 raised to minus 9 in denominator. So 1 10 raised to minus 9 cancels with this 1 10 raised to minus 9. What remains? 130 divided by 300, 3000 into 10 raised to minus 9. So what is this? 1 upon tau. This is 1 upon tau. What will be the tau then? 1 upon tau is this. Then tau will be, denominator goes into numerator, 3000 into 10 raised to minus 9, and numerator goes into denominator, 130. So tau is 3000 10 raised to minus 9 upon 130. That is written here. So tau is 1 upon tau is 130 10 raised to minus 9 divided by 3000 10 raised to minus 18. 10 raised to minus 9 into 10 raised to minus 9 is 10 raised to 18 minus 18. So this 10 raised to minus 9 cancels with 1 10 raised to minus 9, and 130 divided by 3000 10 raised to minus 9 remains. Okay. So this is remaining. And now this is for 1 upon tau. What is tau then? 3000 10 raised to minus 9 divided by 130. So this is the, so what is the calculation? 3000 divided with 10 raised to minus 9 divided by 130. 23.08 into 10 raised to minus 9 second. 23.08 10 raised to minus 9 second. And that 10 raised to minus sign you can replace by nanosecond. So 23.08 nanosecond. 23.08 nanosecond. Same problem, same method of solving. So again, the internal quantum efficiency of the device is eta internal is equal to RR upon RNR, or it is given as, sorry, eta internal is RR upon R total. R total So this is also given as tau total divided by tau r. So in frequency, relative number goes into numerator, in time it goes into denominator. In frequency, total goes in denominator, with time it goes into numerator. Total time divided by relative. So eta internal, total time we have calculated 23 nanosecond, that is 23.08 10 raised to minus 9 goes into numerator, and tau r is given radiative recombination time, that is 30 10 raised to minus 9. So 23 10 raised to 23.08 10 raised to 9 minus 9 divided by 30 10 raised to minus 9. It comes as point 0, point 769. This is the efficiency, or 76.9% if you multiply with 100. So eta internal is 0.76 or 76.9%. If percentage sign is there, then this number is correct. If percentage sign is not there, then 0.769. So there may be the four options: 0.769, 0.769%, and then 76.9%, and 76.9 only without percentage. Out of this is correct, this is correct, this is wrong, this is wrong. Because percentage sign is given, then point fraction is not there. Then multiply it with 100, 76.9 is correct. If 76.9 multiplied by 100 is there must be percentage sign. Without percentage sign, it will be wrong. So without percentage sign, it should be fraction, and with percentage sign, it should be multiplied with 100. So these are the answers for eta internal. The power internally generated in the device, P internal equation is P internal is equal to eta internal HCI upon Q lambda. So we know another equation, that is P internal equals to eta internal H F R divided by Q. So here F is replaced by C upon lambda. Okay. P internal is eta internal is Ci upon Q lambda. So this is equation. Now eta internal is calculated 0.769. Always in calculation we use fraction, not percentage number. So percentage number taken into fraction. Do not substitute 76.9 here. Here we have to substitute fraction. P internal is equal to eta internal HCI upon Q lambda. Eta internal is 0.769 or 0.769. H we know that Planck's constant 6.626 10 raised to minus 34. C is the velocity of light 2.998 10 raised to minus 8, and I is the 0.04 ampere divided by Q is charge on the electron 1.602 10 raised to minus 19. Lambda given is 1.31 10 raised to minus 6. Then after calculation we get 29.12 into 10 raised to minus 3 watt. Power unit is watt. So optical power is 20, internally generated optical power is 29.12 10 raised to minus 3 watt. So 10 raised to minus 3 we can replace with milli. So 29.12 milliwatt. 29.12 10 raised to into 10 raised to minus 3 watt, or 29.12 milliwatt. So LED, which has total recombination lifetime of 23.08 nanosecond and internal quantum efficiency of 76.9% or 0.076, generates internal optical power P internal as 29.12 milliwatt. So these are the answers. Okay, next problem. A planar LED is fabricated from gallium arsenide. So this is the material which has refractive index of 3.6. Then calculate number 1, the optical power emitted into AR, PE. We have to calculate emitted power, PE, as a percentage of internal optical power of the device when the transmission factor at the crystal layer interface F is 0.68. F is given. So PE must be some number multiplied by P internal. In terms of P internal, it is asked. P internal value is not required to substitute. P internal value as taken in answer as P internal only. So calculate optical power emitted into air as percentage of internal power, optical power. So we have to calculate fraction multiplied by P internal. P internal in formula is kept as it is in P internal. Okay. What second is asked? When the power internally generated is, that is P internal is 50% of electrical power. So this is the condition. Whenever the internal generated power is 50% of electrical power. When P internal is up, P internal is internal optical power and P is electrical power. Then P internal is 50% of electrical power means P internal is 0.5 into P. This is the condition. Then determine the external power efficiency. So we have to find out external P eta EP, external power efficiency. So we have to find out P E and PEP. Refractive index of air is 1 because it is emitting into air. Crystal air interface is given. So refractive index of air is 1. So let us check what are the formulae for these. The optical power emitted PE is given by the equation where air refractive index N is 1. PE formula is P internal multiplied by F multiplied by N square divided by 4 NX square. This N is the refractive index of air in medium in which it is emitted. Nx is the refractive index of the semiconductor material, gallium arsenide 3.6 is given. Air media in which it is emitted is 1. F, which is the transmission factor at air crystal air interface. Transmission factor at crystal air interface, that is 0.68. It is given. F is 0.68. F is given 0.68 and P internal we have to keep as it is. P internal we have to find out the emitted power in the percentage of internal power. So internal power we have to keep as it is in the formula. So P is equal to P internal multiplied by F is 0.68 multiplied by N is 1 square divided by 4 into Nx square 3.6 square. So it calculation it gives 0.013 multiplied by this P internal as it is. So PE is in percentage of P internal. P is equal to 0.013 into P internal. Hence, power emitted is 1.3%. So if this fraction is multiplied by 100, it goes into percentage. So if 0.013 is multiplied by 100, it becomes 1.3. Okay. So hence the power emitted power is only 1.3 of optical power generated internally. This is the answer. It is the fraction of the optical power generated internally. What is the meaning of that? Suppose there is a crystal, and that crystal generates the P internal to the crystal. Then that crystal emits the power PE. Okay, external air. It is emitting into external air medium. So P internal, it is generating inside the crystal and it is emitting into the second medium, that is air medium, is PE. P internal, internally generated. Out of that, it emits. It is able to emit outside the crystal PE. So how much is the ratio or percentage? If it is generating P internal, only 1.3% it can emit outside. Means 100 photons are generated within inside the crystal. Only 1.3 photon are able to emit it outside. So consider the loss or understand the loss. Out of 1000 photons, only 13 photons are emitted. So 1.3%. Okay, so this is the answer. So this is the power emitted in terms of in percentage of optical output internally generated. This is the 1.3% of the power emitted, whichever is generated internally. Whatever generated internally power is there, out of that 1.3% is emitted into air. So this is the first answer. So P is equal to 0.013 into P internal. This is the first answer. Second, external power efficiency we have to calculate. So eta EP is PE upon P. PE is the emitted power, optical power. P is the electrical power into 100%. So P we have from formula from calculation 0.013 P internal. P you can substitute 0.013 to P internal, which we have calculated just now. 0.013 into P internal is P divided by P. P is the electrical power multiplied by 100. Okay. So this is something wrong here. So it should be 0.013 multiplied by 100. So this 100 taken into the bracket multiplied by P internal divided by P. So this must be like this. Okay. This is wrong. So 0.30 into 100, it will become 1.3 into 1.3 into P internal divided by P. Now we know from the given data, P internal is 0.5 P. So this is given. In second condition, internally generated power is 50% of electrical power. So this is given. Internally generated power is 50% of electrical power. This is second condition. So when P internal is internal optical power and P is electrical power, we can write P internal equal to 0.5 into P. This is given. P internal is 0.5 into P is given. P internal is 0.5 into P, then P equal to 2 times P internal. So P is kept here and 0.5 is taken on other side. So 1 upon 0.5 is 2. P is 2 times P internal. P internal is zero point 0.5 times P. P is 2 times P internal. If you substitute P in the denominator, this P is substituted. P internal is there in the numerator. If you substitute P in terms of P internal will get cancelled. So 0.013 into P internal divided by 2 into P internal. So this is 2 into P internal is substituted. So P internal will get cancelled and multiply by 100 is there. So 0.013 multiplied by 100 is there divided by 2. So it becomes 0.65%. This is percent, it is not fraction. Fraction will be 0.0065, isn't it? So multiply by 100, it becomes 0.65%. So this is percent out of 100. So eta EP is 0.65%. Such a very low efficiency. Okay. External power, optical power emission efficiency is 0.65%. Out of 100 photon, only 0.65 photon is get emitted. Out of 1,000, only 6.5 photon get emitted. Out of 10,000, only 65 photons get emitted. 10,000 photons are internally generated, only 65 will be get emitted. That is the eta EP. Eta EP is external power efficiency. What are asked? First is the power emitted into air as a percentage of internal power, that is PE is equal to 0.013 P internal. 1.3% of P internal is emitted in as PE. Second asked is the optical power generated internally is 50% of electrical power given. Then determine external power efficiency. Second is external power efficiency. External power efficiency eta EP is 0.0065, that is 0.65%. It is eta EP. So this is fifth problem. Now sixth problem is, let us read the sixth problem. The problem is only, problem statement is only large, big, but problem is very simple. Read it carefully. The light output from GaAs LED with semiconductor material, refractive index 3.6. That means NX is 3.6. The transmission factor at crystal air interface is 0.68. That means F is 0.68. Is coupled into step index fiber with numerical aperture 0.2. Na is 0.2. And F is given crystal air interface, therefore N, that is the refractive index of air. N is the refractive index of medium in which the light is emitted. N is 1. Numerical aperture is 0.2. Core refractive index N1 is 1.4, and diameter of core is larger than diameter of device. So we have to consider the area of device. These are all given data. So what is asked to calculate? Estimate number one. Number one, we have to calculate coupling efficiency, eta 6. Coupling efficiency into the fiber where LED is close proximity to the fiber. Second, the optical loss in decibel relative to the power emitted from the LED. Power emitted will be PE when the coupling the light output into the fiber. Okay. So power emitted, with respect to power emitted, we have to calculate the loss. So it is the ratio of power emitted to power coupled. Okay, in coupling, what is the loss? It is PC and PE. Okay. So what is second ask is the loss in decibel relative to power emitted from LED P while coupling the light output into fiber, that is PC. Coupling power or coupled power is PC. So PC and PE, these are the uh, two factors which we have to consider. So second is the loss relative to power emitted when coupling. Coupling power and emitted power are taken into calculating the loss. Third is the loss relative to internally generated optical power in device when coupling. The same thing. Loss is calculated with respect to internally generated power, P internal, and P coupling, while coupling. So here also loss is calculated as PC upon PE. Coupled power divided by emitted power. Coupled power divided by internally generated power. So 2 and 3 are same. Loss for coupled power with respect to emitted power is there. Loss of coupled power with respect to internally generated power is there. So this is when coupling the light. So why this problem we have to study? Let us check very quickly. So there is a crystal. Okay, this is the crystal, semiconductor crystal, or we can say LED. There is air. Okay, and there is a optical fiber with core area sufficiently large than the device. Okay, so this crystal is having 3.6 refractive index. This is 1 refractive index, and this is 1.4. This crystal generates the internal optical power P internal with the efficiency eta internal with the connected power, electrical power. It emits the photon into air. So this power emitted is PE, and then it couples into the fiber. This coupled power is PC. Now power generated internal P internal is with the efficiency eta internal. Power emitted is with the efficiency eta EP, and power coupled into fiber is with the efficiency eta C. Why there are efficiencies? Because whatever the charge particles supplied by the battery are there, with eta internal only photons are created, photons are generated. Out of 100, eta internal is 85%, then 85 photons are created out of 100 charge particles. 85 photons. If eta EP is suppose 60%, then out of 85, 60% will be emitted. So 60% I am saying very large number. Actually in previous calculation it was 1.3%. So let us say 2%. So out of 85, 2% will be emitted outside. What is 2% of 85? 0.85, 0.85. How much it is? 1.7 photon. Out of 100 charged particles, 85 photons internally generated and only 1.7 photon, approximately 2 photons are emitted. So power emitted. Out of these 2 photons, coupled efficiency is there, coupling efficiency. Out of these 2 photons, some photons, 1 photon or fraction photon will be coupled into fiber. So look at the scenario, how much inefficient it is. That's why alignment, then proper matching of the material, guidance matching, and increasing the internal efficiency, increasing the coupling efficiency, then issues in the joints and couplers and connectors. These are very important. Once the optical power is launched into the fiber, fiber gives no loss at all. It takes to the hundreds of kilometers that power. But from generation of the source to the emission from the source to the coupling of the fiber, it takes lot of the losses. And to calculate that, how much is the internal quantum efficiency that we have to see, that will generate the internal power, optical power. How much is the internal generated optical power is emitted outside the device, that is the PE into air, that we have to see, and for that we have to know the eta EP, that is external emission efficiency, external power, optical power emission efficiency. Out of the external emitted PE power, how much is the power coupled into fiber? That we have to check. For that we have coupling efficiency, eta C. And all these formulae we have seen. Now, we know Nx as refractive index of the semiconductor, F as the semiconductor air transmission factor, N is air refractive index 1, Na of the fiber is 0.2, N1 of the core index refractive index 1.4. First is asked coupling efficiency. Coupling efficiency eta C is Na square or sine square theta A. Na is given 1.4. Sorry, Na is given 0.2. So 0.2 square is 0.04. So coupling efficiency is 0.04. So 4% of external emitted power is coupled into fiber. This is first answer. The optical loss in the decibel relative to the power emitted from LED. So how much is the emitted power in the LED is there? This is LED suppose. How much is the emitted power is there? And how much is the coupled power? PC. What is the loss? PC upon PE. That we have to calculate. What is the value of the emitted power and what is the value of coupled power? What is the ratio? That gives the loss. So optical loss in the decibel relative to the power emitted from LED P to the light output power coupled launched into fiber is PC. So the coupling of light output into the fiber PC is calculated. Now let the optical power coupled into fiber is PC, then optical loss is decibel relative to P is written as loss is equal to minus 10 log to the base 10 PC upon P. PC upon P. How much is coupled? How much is emitted power? PC upon P. Minus 10 log to the base PC upon P. Now we know PC upon P as eta C. Okay. Eta C is nothing but PC upon P. And eta C we have calculated 0.04. So this PC upon PU is nothing but loss minus 10 log to the base 10 eta C. PC upon P is eta C. Substitute it. Then we know eta C value minus 10 log to the base 10 0.04. That is 14 dB. So the optical loss in decibel relative to the power emitted from LED to the coupling the light output power into the fiber is nothing but or equal to 14.0 dB. This is the loss with respect to coupled power, loss of coupled power with respect to emitted power. Similarly, loss relative to the internal optical power in the device P internal when coupling the light output fiber into the fiber, that is PC, is also calculated. The LED is emitting into the air. So emitted power can be found out as P internal F N square upon 4 Nx square. This is the formula. So P internal will keep as it is. We will substitute 0.68 1 N equal to divided by 4 and Nx is 3.6. We will get 0.013 into P internal. Same this we have calculated in previous problem. In previous problem, same thing we have calculated. PE is equal to 0.013 P internal. So why we have kept P internal as it is? Because we have to take the ratio of P and P internal. Because we have to calculate loss relative to internal optical power in the device P internal while coupling the light into fiber PC. While coupling light into fiber, how much is the loss of P internal power is there? That we have to calculate. That is P upon P internal we have to calculate. PC upon P internal. So we have calculated PE. First P we have calculated. So there is a LED. This is LED. This is air, and this is fiber. So it is P internal, this is PE, and this is PC. So we have calculated P here. P is P internal F n square upon 4n square, that is 0.013 P internal. Okay, in terms of P internal, we have calculated P. So assuming very small air gap, then we can have the coupled power into fiber as PC is equal to 0.04 P, isn't it? PC is 0.04 P. So this we have calculated. Eta C is 0.04. If eta C is 0.04, eta C is nothing but, what is eta C? Eta C is nothing but PC upon P. आत्ताच आपण वापरलाय तो इक्वेशन, isn't it? Eta C is nothing but PC upon PE. हा इक्वेशन आपण आत्ताच वापरलाय. Eta C is nothing but PC upon PE. Okay. So this is the equation. So let us take eta C PC upon PE here. So PC is equal to eta C into PE. That is 0.04 into P. PC is 0.04 into P. So P upon atas calculate we have calculated just now. PE is 0.013 P internal. So PC is equal to 0.04 P is 0.04 into P is 0.013 P internal. Substituted. So 0.04 into 0.013 into P internal is PC. So if these two multiply together, 5.2 10 raised to minus 4 into P internal. Okay, so this is into PC is 5.2 into 10 raised to minus 4 into P internal. Okay, so hence in this case only 0.05% internal optical power is coupled into fiber. So whatever the internal optical power is there, out of that 0.05% is coupled into the device PC. So loss is how much with respect to P internal? So coupling loss is equal to minus 10 raised to 10 PC upon P internal, PC upon P internal. So what is this? PC upon P internal, 5.2 into 10 raised to minus 4 from this equation, 5.2 10 raised to minus 4. So loss minus 10 to the base 10 PC upon P internal is minus 10 log to the base 10, 5.2 10 raised to minus 4. Okay. So loss is 32 dB. So out of this P internal, how much is coupled into fiber? That loss, PC upon P internal, PC upon P internal. Okay, that is calculated. Also in previous case, we have calculated PC upon P emitted also. PC upon P emitted. Here we are calculating PC upon P internal. So what we have calculated? Coupling efficiency is 0.04. So coupling power to the emitted power loss is 14 dB. Coupling to the PC to the P, and similarly PC to the P internal loss is 32 dB. Okay. So these are the calculations. So next problem is double heterojunction surface emitter which has a emission area diameter 50 micrometer. So emission area diameter of the emission area is 50 micrometer, which is joined to 80 micrometer core step index fiber. So diameter of the optical fiber core is 80 micrometer. With numerical aperture of fiber is 0.15, Na 0.15. The device has radiance 30 watt per steradian per centimeter square. So RD is 30 watt per steradian per centimeter square at a constant operating drive current. Estimate the optical power coupled into the fiber, PC, if it is assumed that Fresnel reflection coefficient of the index match surface is 0.01, that is small r Fresnel reflection coefficient is 0.01. So we have to calculate PC. So PC is the formula for the double heterojunction surface emitter LED, that is SLED, surface emitter LED. The optical power coupled into fiber PC for surface emitter is given by PC is equal to pi into 1 minus r into A into RD into N square, where R is the Fresnel reflection coefficient, A is the smallest area among the emitter area and optical fiber core area. Out of emitter area or optical fiber core area, whichever is the smaller, that is taken. Here the smaller diameter is the emission area. We will take 50 micrometer circular area, that is pi r square. So this is diameter. 50 is the diameter. We will take 25 micrometer radius. 50 into 10 raised to 6 meter. So we will take 25 into 10 raised to 6 meter radius to calculate the area. RD is given, Na square is given. So RD is the radiance and Na is the refractive index, numerical aperture. In this equation, A represents the smaller area among emission area or core area. So we will take smaller area. Therefore, in this case, the emission area of the source is considered in the calculation because emission diameter, area diameter is lesser. So area equal to pi into radius square, pi into 25 into 10 raised to minus 4 square. Okay, minus 6, 25 into 10 raised to minus 6 pi, minus 4 level. So it is wrong. So this must be pi into 25 into 10 raised to minus 6 square. Okay. So pi into 25 square. 25 square is 625 into 3.40. So it is around 1800, isn't it? 3 into 6, 1800. 1800 something. Multiplied by 6 square. 10 raised to minus 6 square. How much it is? Minus 10 raised to minus 6 square. How much it is? Minus 12. So 1800 square. So 1900 suppose 196 square. 10 raised to minus 19. So how much it is? 1, 2, 3. So 1.96 into 10 raised to minus 9 meter square. This is meter square. Okay, this is meter square. If you want to calculate into centimeter square, so meter is converted into centimeter by dividing by 10 and meter square by dividing by 100. So 1.96 10 raised to minus 7 is the answer. Centimeter square. Is it correct? Sorry. 100 centimeter is the meter, na? 100 centimeter is a meter. So meter is converted into centimeter by dividing by 100. So 100 square. 100 square is 10 raised to 4. So we have to reduce this 10 raised to 9 by 10 raised to 4. So it becomes 10 raised to minus 5 centimeter square. So 1.96 into 10 raised to minus 5 centimeter square. So this calculation is correct. Only this number 10 raised to minus 4 is to be taken as 10 raised to minus 6. So 1.96 10 raised to minus 5 centimeter square. It is not meter square. So this is the area we have to substitute into centimeter square. Why area is substituted in centimeter square? Because radiance is given in centimeter square. Okay, radiance is given 30 watt per steradian per centimeter square. Either you convert radiance into meter square and then take the area into meter square, or take the radiance into centimeter square and area also will be in centimeter square, that those will get cancelled. Okay. So substitute pi, r is 0.01, 1 minus 0.01 and area is 1.96 10 raised to minus 5 centimeter square and RD is 30 watt per steradian per centimeter square and Na is 0.15 square. So all this calculates to 41.1 into 10 raised to minus 6 watt. All this calculates to 41.1 into 10 raised to minus 6 watt. So 10 raised to minus 6 we can write as micro. So 41.1 micro watt. So for each multiplication factor 10 to the power 3, 10 to the power minus 3, 10 to the power 6, 10 to the power minus 6, what is substituted, what is replaced, that we have seen in the previous sessions of the problem solving, numerical solvings, isn't it? Here note RD, area, both are used same unit centimeter square. So that's why we are taking both in same unit. RD is using centimeter square, area we are taking in centimeter square. Otherwise also you can convert RD in meter square and area calculate in the meter square. Both meter square will we also have same answer. In this case, around 41 microwatt of optical power is coupled into step index fiber. So this is the answer. What is the answer? What we have to calculate? We have to calculate the coupled power into SLED. So 41.41 microwatt is the optical power coupled into step index fiber from SLED. This is the answer. Now the next problem is numerical. The lens coupled surface emitting LED launches 190 microwatt of optical power into multi-mode step index fiber when a forward current of 25 milliampere is there. So LED launches 190 micrometer. That means power coupled is 190 micrometer. That is 190 into 10 raised to minus 6 watt. 190 microwatt is 190 into 10 raised to minus 6 watt into a multimode step index fiber when the forward current is 25 milliampere. So current is 25 milliampere means 25 to 10 raised to 6 ampere. Milli is 10 raised to minus 6. Through the device, determine the overall voltage, overall power conversion efficiency when the corresponding forward voltage across the diode is 1.5. Voltage across the diode is given, current across the diode is given, through the diode is given. So voltage into current is power, electrical power is given. Electrical power is V into I. So DC power is V into I. Okay. So PC is coupled power, optical power is given 190 to 10 raised to minus 6 watt. Current is given 25 to 10 raised to minus 3 ampere and voltage is given 1.5 volt. Okay. So this is the lens coupled surface emitting LED and it gives the optical power into multi-mode step index fiber and then forward current and voltage is given and we have to find out overall power conversion efficiency. Overall power conversion efficiency means what? The overall power conversion efficiency is eta PC. Power conversion is PC upon P. Coupled power upon electrical power. Okay. So this is the light emitting diode crystal LED. It generates internal power with eta internal. It emits the power emitted with eta EP and there is a fiber which is having internally coupled power PC with eta C. To this LED, the power supply is connected V and current is flowing I. So actually provided power is P. Electrical power provided is P. So when we provide electrical power P to the crystal with eta internal quantum efficiency, it generates optical power P internal, which is less than P. So eta internal is fraction. So from P internal, eta EP frequency efficiency is there. Less than eta internal, it emits into air. PE. P is lesser than eta internal. Further reduced eta internal. From this radiated external emitted power, optical power, PC is the power coupled, launched into fiber, which is lesser than PE. This is with respect to eta C, with number or efficiency, coupling efficiency, eta C. So whatever the actual optical electrical power is supplied, less than that internal power is generated, less than that optical power emitted, less than that is power converted. So what is the overall conversion? Overall conversion is original power P electrical is given and PC is connect launched into fiber. From electrical power to launching of the fiber power, that is the overall efficiency. So PC upon P, power, optical power coupled into fiber and electrical power provided. So this is eta PC. Okay. So this is overall power conversion efficiency. Power conversion efficiency. PC. So P upon P. Sorry, PC upon P. So PC is given 190 into 10 to the minus 6 watt, and P we can calculate V into I. So electrical power is V into I 1.5 volt into 25 10 to the minus 3 ampere current, 37.5 into 10 to the minus 3 watt. So this is electrical power. Okay, this is the electrical power. 37.5 10 raised to minus 3 watt substituted here. So what is eta PC power conversion efficiency? PC upon P 190 10 raised to minus 6 divided by 37 into 10 raised to minus 3, which is the electrical power P. So this counts as 5.1 10 raised to minus 3, and percentage if you multiply with 100, 0.5%. 0.5%. 0.5% means if the electrical power is equal to 100 photon power, then coupled photon will be half photon. That means out of 200 photon power, only one photon is coupled into fiber. So this is very less overall coupling efficiency. What is the overall coupling efficiency? Eta PC, overall power conversion efficiency. Overall power conversion efficiency is 0.5 dB. This is the answer. Okay. So in this way, we have completed all the problems in the chapter 3. So I think all of you have also solved along with me. I hope so. If you have solved it along with me, then it becomes more clear. If you are not solved along with me, again watch the video. I will upload on the YouTube also. It is there on my app also. And while watching the video, solve it in your notebook. Okay, so you will get more clarity again. I hope anybody is not having, uh, maybe having some queries, will ask. And if it is not presently in your mind, you can ask anytime. Why I am saying this? Because it is now the examination time, and you should understand, study all the theory as well as problem solving, numerical solving. And if you go through that, many times you may arise with some queries. Okay, some problems, issues in understanding into the theory as well as numerical solving. So always you ask, if you want, many students want to ask them, you can, we can have the online question answer session also, half an hour, 1 hour. If you request on the WhatsApp group, we will give that uh, question, problem solving, or you can say question answer session. Okay. Query solving session. Am I audible till now? Harshad Bohilkar, you are telling something, but I cannot hear. I will increase the sound. Yes, Tejas and Siddesh and Suyog. Thank you. So we'll stop here, and I will upload now this problem solving to assignments 9 number and 10 number, and you can solve this now. Immediately after the lecture, I will release this. And if you want to have a discussion on some queries, we can arrange before the uh, midterm examination on this all three chapters. Okay, whenever you have gone through the quiz, we can ask the queries. So we can arrange that lecture. If you want, you can ask me on the WhatsApp. So I am stopping the recording, and